What's up, guys? So today I got a little story time for you. My first 3 months being locked up in juvenile detention. This is going to be a two-part series. The first 3 months I was in juvie. The last 6 months I spent at a residential placement called Lakeside in Kalamazoo. So today is going to be the juvie experience, my first 3 months. So, March 2018, 15 years old. It's a Sunday. I'm coming back from my shift at Wendy's. I was working part-time at Wendy's. I come home to my mom's apartment and there's two detectives waiting in the living room with my mom. They tell me to have a seat. They ask me some questions and they handcuff me in front of my mom. She's crying. They walk me out into my apartment complex. They bring me to the patrol car. It's like a black undercover car. And I'm riding in the back of that car just like, shit, I don't know what's about to happen, right? Pretty damn uncomfortable too. You got your hands behind you like this and you just, you know what I'm saying? They got the little cage between you and the cop, and he got his little computer running tags and whatnot. So yeah, we get to the juvenile detention facility and we do the intake. So I'm sitting in a holding cell for maybe 30-45 minutes, and then they call you in. They have a little room. You take a shower, and they give you new clothes. So it's plain colored, large size shirts, and then blue pants. Blue like I don't know if it's corduroy or some shit. I don't know. Blue pants. Okay, and that's your outfit. Worn out ass white socks and drawers that are green drawers. Okay, so I just remember being brought to my cell. And that first night was rough, man. I remember I was in tears and I didn't know what was about to happen, man. I was feeling a lot of pain. There was a girl I was talking to at the time, and I was feeling really bad for her because I just disappeared off the face of the earth. She didn't know what happened to me, you know. We were just on Snapchat. It's actually funny because I didn't have service on my phone. So I on the walk to my mom's house, on the walk is when I opened her Snap. We just be talking back and forth, and she said, you know, how you doing, blah blah blah, and I send it back and said, I'm doing good, how you doing? And that was it. And then I just disappeared off the face of the earth, you know. And so I was holding a lot of pain in my heart because you know, I was feeling bad for this girl because I know she's gonna be tripping about what happened to me. Okay, so that first night in my room, right, it's a little in this juvenile detention facility, it's not like some badass place. It's really like a daycare, guys. It was not some like you know, not some place where you're seeing fights every day and shit like that. Like, this place was very, very secure, very controlled. Okay, Lakeside, on the other hand, the other place I went to that I spent 6 months, complete different story. That place, you know, that place, I have some juicy stories for you. Okay, and so some of the biggest things that were a struggle at this place: constantly hungry. So I've always had a very high metabolism where I can just eat and eat. I'm one of those people, they don't put on body fat very easily because I have such a high metabolism. I can eat a lot of food. I've always been an athlete, but back then I was about 135 pounds, so 55-ish pounds lighter than I am now. And but I was starved. They had us on a 1900 calorie a day diet. 1900 calories a day, and it was that shitty ass food, you know, like it's like school lunch for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus snacks, you know, just straight garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? But food was like just the highlight of my existence there, because I was always thinking about food. I was always craving food because they fed us such little ass portions, and you weren't allowed to trade or share with nobody. They had you in a pod. Up to 8 people in a pod at a time. Sometimes there might be 6 or 8, but they're just single rooms. You got single cells, right? They got 4 on this wall, 4 on this one, and then they got glass dividing in. You can see across to the other pods, but you're not allowed to look. You're not allowed to look out there to the other pods, but the fucking wall's made of glass. But you get in trouble if you're looking. It's very, guys, it's very like, if you act out in any sort of way, they just put your ass in your cell, and that's where you're gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? They don't tolerate any kind of trouble because it's so small, so controlled, right? And it wasn't a difficult experience in the sense of, you know, it's a tough ass environment or anything like that. Not the case. This is a place where you go to just really sit with your fucking self and think about the shit you've been doing, right? And so this is where I got into working out. So the pain of not knowing when I was leaving, I thought I would be leaving very shortly after getting there. I would go to court in shackles just to leave, go to court, thinking I'm getting out, and then the judge is like, okay, we're going to do a review in 1 month, 2 months, and you're like, and you're walking back in your shackles all shh, and it's just like, damn, bro, you know, you're just feeling that pain, man, feeling sad, like you don't know when you're going home. You know what I'm saying? It's painful, bro. And so during this time is where it planted the seed for exercise for me. So in my cell, I'll be doing push-ups. So in the morning I would get up and I would be doing anywhere from 200 to 300 push-ups, you know, sets of 20, sets of 30, sets of 40, you know, just busting out push-ups in my room, getting this awesome pump in the morning. They wake you up. I was always the first one out the door. When they open the door, they got the breakfast trays waiting for you out there. And I was always the first one up. So as soon as they hit the switch to open the doors, I was always the first one out. And I chose the tray that had the most, like, cereal or oatmeal or whatever the fuck we're having for breakfast. Usually one of those two things. And whatever one, because, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the portions were slightly different. And so you want to choose a tray that had the most on it because you can't trade. We still did it low key, but you're not allowed to, right? And guys, it's no joke. Like when I tell you I was hungry the whole time in there, 1,900 calories a day, dog, I would get up. I would be sitting on my room. I was sitting on my bed in my cell reading a book. And I would get up. You know, I'd be sitting there for maybe 20, 30 minutes. I'm sitting there reading a book. I get up. I stand up and my fucking, I just get lightheaded. I'm just like you start like getting dizzy and shit. Your blood sugar is just, my blood sugar was just so low all the fucking time. And I shit you not, one time I got up after sitting on my bed for a while reading a book. I got up to like look out, try to look out my flap, see what was going on outside. And I got dizzy and lightheaded. Next thing I know, I kind of come back into consciousness. I'm on my hands and knees, and my right hand is in my toilet, in my stainless steel toilet. Just whoosh, water splashed all up on my sweater that I was wearing. They give you little, you know, solid color sweaters that are the color of your pod. And my fucking hands in the toilet, bro. I passed out. I hit the floor and like just blacked out for a minute, and I come to my damn hands in the fucking toilet. It's fucking water splashed everywhere. And so, I mean, I had to clean it up with fucking, you know, paper towel and shit. It's just ridiculous, man. I know a second time I got up, there were vents. We used to talk through the vents, where the people who are in the rooms next to you, you can talk through. There's one at the foot of your bed that you can talk with the person directly next to you. That's like low down on the floor. And there's one higher up, like close to the ceiling. Where if you stand on top of your stainless steel sink and you hear somebody talking, you get up there and you listen. So I remember one time I heard people talking in the vent. So I'm like, shit. I get up off my bed and I get up there real quick. I get up on top of my sink and I'm listening. And next thing I know, here comes everything just starts getting cloudy. I stood up fast after sitting down for a long time. Blood sugar low all the fucking time. Always hungry. And I just start blacking out. And mind you, I'm about standing about 4 or 5 feet off the floor, cement floor. And I'm standing up there on this little sink, balancing on this little sink that's like this wide on my feet, listening, and I start blacking out. I start losing consciousness. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fall and crack my head on the fucking cement from this big ass drop. And I'm so thankful, bro. It was scary as fuck. I thought I was gonna die, bro. I was able to maintain my body tense and not fucking just fall over and fucking hit the floor. Hit the cement floor. It was scary as fuck, bro. I literally, everything went black. And my body's just stiff with tension as I'm sitting there, like trying not to fucking fall over and kill myself. Fucking bash my head open to some shit. So, this is the first time that I discovered a taste for spirituality and anything to do with God. I remember a couple weeks in, I came back from court. And, being told I wasn't leaving anytime soon. I didn't know when I was going to leave. We're going to have a review hearing. And so I'm just feeling down, bro. I'm feeling just hopeless. I'm feeling lost, man. Not knowing when I'm going to go out, go home. And they have a little library. They call it a library. It's really just a bookshelf, just a couple bookshelves on a wall, and you can pick out your books. And I picked out this one book. I don't think I have it here with me at the moment. It was called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And I just found this book, and it was like the Most High guided me to this book. And like, it's the whole reason I got locked up in the first place, was like God, the universe, the Most High, whatever you want to call it, was trying to sit my ass down, because I was living in a state where I had no sense of a higher power. I didn't believe. I was an atheist my whole life. I didn't believe in anything of a higher power. I thought that was bullshit. People just believing in stories and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember discovering this book. And Eckhart Tolle, if you know any of his teachings, he's really into detaching from the ego, spirituality, meditation, presence, this kind of thing. And I remember just reading that book in my room in the cell. We'd be in for the night, in our room for the night. And I'd just be reading this book, and I found peace in the words, speaking about spirituality. And it was the first time I ever got a taste of something other than, the physical, external, the surface level world, ego, pleasure, this kind of just, this existence that I lived in my whole life, At 15 years old is when I first discovered that, and it was while I was locked up. So I got a little list here because there's so many points I can cover. I got to go through the list and give you guys the full rundown. And so after reading this book, when they would deliver the trays to us, I like to take my tray in my room. I didn't like to eat around everybody. I wanted to go in my room and just be in peace, because food was like the highlight of the day. Everything, I was always wanting food. I was always thinking about food. I was always hungry. Not the whole time I was there did I throw one thing away. Always hungry. So really what it taught me was deep fucking gratitude. Deep gratitude for the most simple things, man. Just to have food, man. I remember going in my room. I would take after reading this book and learning about how you can be still and aware and present in the things that you do, and you can observe the mind rather than attach yourself to the thoughts, to the emotions that arise within you. You are the silent observer. You're detached from all that. You're operating from a higher consciousness. And I remember just eating my food. I would eat, very slowly, just, and just savoring each bite and just feeling the sensation, the flavor. This is what I always did. But after I read this book, it was just like the sense of just gratitude and just appreciation just filled my whole spirit. And when I was truly just slow and deliberate and present with each bite, it was like, loved every single second of it. I just remember sitting there just smiling, man, just feeling the utmost gratitude in this cell by myself, not knowing when I'm going home. You feel me? And it was just like, there was no time, there was no, you know what I'm saying? There was no fear. It was just gratitude. It was just appreciation. It was just acceptance. Here I am right now. There is no, my mind's not in the past. It's not in the future. I'm just right here, right now, exactly where I am, in this present moment, in this current experience. And I'm not thinking about when I'm leaving. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm just right here, And this is where I really learned the power of being present and still like that. And so I remember looking out my window, and I would watch robins. They'd be hopping around in the field, and like the grass, there would be a grass field out there where we could go outside. In the summertime, they could take us outside. It'd be like the yard. It'd be like a kickball field and shit. And I would just watch the robins prancing around. And I'd watch them. They'd stop, they'd listen, and then they yank a worm out of the ground. They yank like this long-ass worm out of the ground. And I'll just sit there and I'll just watch the robins for like an hour, 2 hours. I just sit there in my window, standing on top of the little wooden desk that they have in there, just looking out the window. I had like a bar in the middle of it, just like a thin window like this, and you can look outside. And yeah, man, there was some memorable inmates too, man. I didn't see too many fights during my time there. I didn't get into any physical altercations, like I said. This place was a daycare, guys. When I get into Lakeside, part 2 of this series, when I go to Lakeside, different story. I got into several fights. It was far more painful. It was a really, really tough experience, man. But I just remember there was this one dude named Navaria. He was from Muskegon. He was the short, but really, he's like the short, but just buff black dude. He was probably about my age, 15 at that time. And he was lactose intolerant. So when they would bring us anything with dairy products, he would get something different as a substitute. So he drank lactose milk, giving us the milk cartons with all our meals. And if there was this one day, there was this one evening that they brought us a snack. And our snack was a couple pieces of bread with a single piece of that processed ass salami meat and a piece of cheese. That was our little sandwich. Like a fucking salami and cheese sandwich, right? And because he was lactose intolerant, he couldn't have the cheese. And so instead of just taking the cheese out, they gave him a single hard-boiled egg, bro. A single hard-boiled egg. And he opened that shit up. Everyone else is eating their sandwiches. He opened that shit up. He got a single motherfucking egg. And this dude flipped fucking shit. He started throwing a tantrum. He started throwing chairs and shit. They put us all on lockdown. They're like, go in your rooms. Everyone get in your room. The operator booth, they opened the fucking machines. They open up the doors and everybody has to get in their room. And this dude's just flipping out in there, bro. Throwing a tantrum. We're in lockdown for like an hour and a half. And it was funny as fuck, bro. It was funny as fuck. He threw a whole tantrum, but he got a single fucking egg. And he just flipped the fuck out, man. So, yeah, I saw a couple other things, man. Nothing too crazy. People like cheeking their Adderalls and shit. People would, you know what I'm saying, pass their pills and shit like that. During my time there, I was really good. I became really good at ping pong. And what we would do is we would bet our snacks on ping pong. I would always win in my pod. I would always win at ping pong. I was like the champion, bro. And dudes would try to bet their snacks with me, like a little bag of Fritos, a little bag of fucking Doritos, or whatever the fuck they were giving us for snacks. And the way you do it, because you're not allowed to share food, you throw your sweater over it. So like you be sitting by each other, and when the person in the staff in your pod isn't looking, you take your sweater. They give you little like one-piece sweaters. You have your t-shirt on, you got your sweater, you're just holding your sweater, then you put it over the snack. And then you just have it under your sweater, and then you kind of wrap it up when they're not looking. And then you'd be like, hey, can I go to the room? I gotta use the bathroom. And they'll be like, okay. And they open the door for you, and then boom, you got your snack in your room. You can eat your snack, because you get a bunch of fucking trouble if you shared food in there. You know, it was just really, I don't know, just really controlled, man. Very controlled, but like in a very nice, no, we're gonna make sure this is a very peaceful place kind of way, man. But the biggest takeaways from this, the biggest things that I learned is this is where I discovered spirituality. This is where I discovered God, or the Most High, because I needed it. Because I'm just telling you stories right now, but the whole time being there was painful, man. You know, and it's not even like the other place that I'm gonna speak about in part 2. This place was hell. This place was fucking hell. This place that I'm speaking about, this juvenile detention, this place was just a place where you sit your ass down and you really have to just think and reflect and be with yourself, be with your feelings. You don't have anything to distract you. You have to be with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to process whatever you got inside, because there's no running, right? And so going through all that pain is where I discovered that book I spoke about, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And it was my first glimpse of spirituality, of meditation, of presence. Part 2 we're going to pick up when I got shipped over to this residential placement, and the experiences that I had there. It was a rough show, man. So, yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I try not to ramble too crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things I could speak about in this. You know, try to keep it organized for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like for me. Subscribe if you're new. And you guys want to hear more stories like this, any more story times, anything you want me to speak on, drop it in the comments. And yeah, man, You guys have a beautiful day, and I'm out.